Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about Hurricane Lee here as it rapidly today intensified to Category 4 hurricane. Right now it's sitting at 961 millibars, and if we take a look at the latest National Hurricane Center's forecast, right now we're sitting at 130 miles per hour, moving west-northwest at 15 miles per hour. Now, around 2 p.m. Saturday, or maybe even earlier, depending on how quickly this wants to intensify, we could be looking at a top end Category 5, not top end Category 5 wise, but max on the scale of Category wise. We'll be sitting at 160, 165 miles per hour as the day goes on through Saturday. If we take a look at Hurricane Lee here, look how beautiful this storm is. I'll pause it at the very last slide here. Notice how that you have your outflow of this storm that's all the way out towards 55 west, even though the low center is in like 52 degrees west. This storm screams major hurricane. You got a clear eye, look at that beautiful thing, and high top clouds around the center of the system. And once you see this type of clouds coming off the storm, same with these, that bands of clouds coming off a storm, once again, like I just said, that screams major hurricane here. And this storm is not done strengthening, like I said earlier. We could be looking at a potential Category 5 hurricane. Maybe we could max out at 170 miles per hour. Some models have shown around that strength. But no matter what, this storm is going to be a work of art in the middle of the Atlantic Basin. Now, the part that all of you care about, where is Lee going to go after it's done doing its thing in the Atlantic Basin? Now, is it going to go up north of the Caribbean, go out to sea? Is it going to go into Canadian Maritime, or is it going to go into New England here, which today, lately, as shown by the European, could be a possibility of a threat. Now, if we go all the way to Sunday morning, Lee is probably a Category 5 at this time, sitting north of the Caribbean here. You have your trough, you have your ridge, pushing up into southeastern Canada. Now, if we fast forward this to about Tuesday morning, Lee is still moving in a northwest direction, but notice our trough starts to come down and is negatively tilted here. As you can see, we have one here and one over here. As we advance this further, we have a closed upper level low sitting in the Great Lakes here. Let me erase everything. And according to GFS here, with this ridge sitting out, and this is also the other storm that just got named, the M storm, I forgot, but it is sitting right here, which is going to weaken the ridge a little bit, so that could save us in the end if the GFS is right. But this trough has been trending stronger in the past two runs and a little bit more east, so the GFS will eventually want to kick this out, as shown on your screen, into, actually on this run, it brings it into Nova Scotia. So in some ways, it did move a little bit more northwest, but, I'm sorry for that, but mostly this would be a fish storm for at least mainland USA, but obviously for Canada, this will not be a fish storm whatsoever. Now, if we take a look at the European here and we jump to Sunday morning here, once again, Lee right here, probably Category 5 at this time, north of the Caribbean. Trough, ridge straight up into Southeast Canada. Okay, we all agree on this. All the models at least show this setup in 72 hours, but after that is when they start to disagree. Notice Lee is moving still in the northwest direction, and we have a trough back in the Midwest, but obviously not as strong, and is neutral tilted and also further back west, which allows Lee to eventually miss that first trough because it goes straight up into northeast Canada, and Lee is not up far enough. And we also have a ridge, which also, if we want to take a look at the ridge strength compared to the European, look at this, the European, notice the dark red here, and notice how much weaker it is on the GFS. I'm telling you, if this one of GFS had the European ridge, it would have been almost right up in this area with the GFS. But the European is sticking with its guns with the high ridge. Let me just go back one more. Notice the past two runs are approximately the same when it comes to the ridge and the trough position. This is the 12Z right now, and now this is the 0Z. 0Z right now, 12Z. It's pretty much like that, almost exactly the same, which, believe it or not, I like that when I see models with this type of pattern set up. The consistent they are, the more I like to trust them. And what the European does, it takes it right off the coast of Cape Cod and brings it into Maine, as possibly, if we want to zoom in up in the northeast and erase everything we have on the screen and go to our precip, this would probably be a Cat 2 hurricane. It would break the drought of not having a landfall hurricane in that area in New England for a very long time. That'll be all for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Hurricane Lee is coming somewhere, whether it be the Fish, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, or possibly even New England. This storm is still, I would say, a week out, a little bit more than a week actually, a week and a few days, so definitely things can change at this time.